Couch in space!
Oh, look, it's a couch.
Looks comfortable.
And it's in space!
Cool! Couch in space!
Well, here we are, Wes. Third time lucky. This has been such a mission. First time Wes came over, I was sick as a dog, so we couldn't do the podcast. Then Wes came back in again, and we did a podcast, and it was great. It was over an hour long.
And as a proper sound guy, messed up the sound. Yeah,
and no, the microphone didn't work. I had a setting wrong on my camera. The lights blew out in the middle of it. It was a cursed session.
It was, but it was a good convo though.
It was, yeah. Cool. And I guess we can re-explore it and, build on the topics that we
just pretend you heard nothing before.
But this is kind of great because you kind of know the flow of the thing, right?
Yeah.
What you want to divulge and what you don't. And
I promise I'm too comfortable now. That's the.
Well, last time you had Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, that's true.
And you had your emotional support animal, Poppy,
Poppy,
who will probably join us at some stage or so. Anyway, welcome back, Wes. Let's hope this one works a treat.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to in the last week?
Well, we'll start with the last week because you don't know everything.
I have no idea.
So this last week, I've got a potential build coming up that's a bit interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've just been I did a post on a little story, and my whole desk looks like an absolute bomb because I've just been pulling things apart, testing things, getting things right. So that's generally like my process. I use my personal 3x3 meter room as a test subject, and I get everything set up and right there. And then when it's time to actually do an install or what set up for someone, I buy all the equipment, I set it in, and I just save.
Right. And for people that don't know, what are you setting up in your...
So that's studio bolts.
Okay.
Mostly like podcast studios, video stuff. No one's asked me to do an audio studio yet.
Okay, righto. But plenty of podcast studios.
And
where do they want them built? Like, is it a corporate entity?
Yeah,
hey, we
mostly...
have a spare room. Can you set this up as a interview room? Or
it's wild. There's a shed company in Waikato who want to start a parallel lifestyle brand.
Yeah. So
they built that in their offices. I've had a mortgage advice and finance side. They've built a few. I've got one person who runs a marketing agency, and he's got a spare room in his house that's half built, and we're in conversations about just helping him get that as something that he can run himself. So yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's in the video and production world, it's about serving what they need. So some people have really fancy things, and other people it's fairly basic, but it's just making it easy for them to use.
Yes. And we both see the big value in having podcasting and conversational based, I guess, content. Especially for businesses and things like that. How do you think it's changed? Has it changed somewhat? Or what are people's actual perceptions of a podcast? So some of the clients that you talk to, what do they know and what have they got no clue about?
I think I'm kind of lucky. The clients that I get they're fully aware of what they want.
Yeah.
They've been looking for a solution and they can't find one, and then they hear about me and they're like, all right, is this too good to be true?
Yes.
What's happening? Things like that. So then it's just a matter of being like, here's proof. This is what I've done. And then they go forward. So I try to educate people.
Yeah.
But like anything that people don't understand, if they don't understand it, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink type of thing. And yeah, so I think it's more that focusing on the people who are actually looking for a solution rather than trying to squeeze people into this thing. And then the thing is they regret it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing I hate. I'd rather not work with you and have you come back 6 months to a year later than try and squeeze you into something and then you be like, this isn't what I was wanting, like I feel strong-armed. I just don't want to do that.
And you strike me as someone who's a solutions-based person, right? You see a problem and you find a solution.
Yeah, my wife loves that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, do tell.
I'm just kidding.
Do you do a lot of mansplaining? Do you?
Oh, lots of mansplaining. Have you seen the video with the girl with the nail in her head?
No.
Oh, there's this classic YouTube video, and this girl's like, I have headaches and my life's so hard. And this guy, you just see him holding back.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you reckon it's got something to do with the nail? She's like, don't talk about the nail, and she's got this nail sticking out of her head. I'm that guy who's like, babe, there's a nail in your head. Let me help you with that. And she's like, don't touch it, man.
Brilliant. So with the solutions based, getting back to that, was that always your kind of default, or what made you go into that way of, I don't know, of service?
I guess I'm a creative at heart.
Yeah.
But I grew up with a
Because that's a long road from being a creative to being a solutions-based person. You know, as a creative, you create more problems than you solve, right?
Well, that's the thing I found was I guess I grew up in a family full of machinists and metalwork. Like my grandfather built a dam in Africa. Like he designed and built a dam in Africa.
Really? Yeah.
My dad worked for Avanti, designing helping them design their bikes. There's a company called Raycon.
Yeah.
He helped design and make the parts that grow crystals for night vision goggles and stuff. So like I got every male up to me has been extremely practical, mechanical based minds.
Okay.
Where I was kind of like a little bit more of the creative side. So I think it's a part of, I think creatively I love creating stuff and stuff like that. And then when I found that I had that family level connection on the creative, on the like practical creation side of creating something, I think that's kind of where it merged. Because everyone wanted to be a rock star, right? When you were 16, you're like,
hey, I'm over 50. I still want to be a rock star.
Yeah, you want to be a rock star, and I mean, like, I'm guessing you were shooting film as well, and you're like, I'm going to be.
Oh, actually, no, I never touched film.
You never
I never
touched?
no.
You just did the editing and color grading side.
Yeah. I started with 1-inch tape, videotape, but I never had actual film. That's what you mean, right?
Well, no, I meant film as in like picked up a camera.
I thought you meant actually.
No.
Like 16mm film or
No,
35.
no.
No, that's before. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Storytelling, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
storytelling and stuff.
Yeah, creating worlds. Yeah, world builder.
Oh, is that what your thing is?
That's totally. You know, that's when I have a story in my head, I'll build the whole world, and then you have the tedious job of writing it all down for other people to understand your world when it's so clear in your head, and that's the hard part for me anyway.
Yeah, and I guess it's the same for me, is because I started doing sound and stuff like that. So I wanted to know my guitar strings all the way to the PA system. I was interested in how the whole thing went, because everything affected my sound, everything affected what I was doing. So kind of like you, where you build the whole world, I wanted to understand the whole world of how it all fitted together. And because of that, I just got good at connecting all of it. And then the mechanical side of my family, I got some of that. So I just became good at plugging all those ideas together.
Yeah.
So started off doing podcast audio.
Yeah.
And then people were like, I want video. So I was like, I guess I better learn video. And now I'm doing average color grades that would pass, but barely. And yeah, so it's just learning those aspects and bringing other people in. I think that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff's
It's a good start.
It's a good start.
I mean, if you know nothing, it's a great start.
True, if you know nothing. But I think if you can get around people who are actually doing it, it's world of different. Like I did performance guitar, and I was like, I got a certificate in there, and then I went on.
So where did you learn performance guitar?
I did that at Excel.
What is that?
At Excel School of Performing Arts. It's
Is that here in New Zealand?
That's here in New Zealand.
Okay,
yeah.
righto.
So it's just a certificate. It's nothing too fancy.
But no, you just mentioned that. I want to know more because I love music. What does that entail? Like, what did you learn within that course?
So that course was like playing. So you go through
Playing what?
Playing guitar.
Yeah. Well, what?
Like
is it an acoustic? Is it nylon?
Mine was general. So I didn't do a jazz degree. It's not to that level.
Okay.
It's a certificate is underneath a diploma in terms of the thing. So it's more just like your basics. Like if I wanted to, I'm qualified to teach music theory.
Okay.
Even though I haven't.
Up to what level?
Up to high school level.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but
so that like college level, so like school.
It's at level 3,
up to 18.
4?
Yeah, so I think it's like a level 3. I think it works differently for music because you need to have set your theory exams, and if you've passed, I think it's the level 13 in the theory exams, you are therefore able to teach music theory proficiently.
Right. Is that why you did that course?
No. But that's just one of the things that it was mostly practical.
Yeah.
So the course was very much how to play the guitar, how to sit in the mix with the band, how to do all these things. So it's very much it's very much like holistic perspective, not so
Okay.
much too niche. So lots of performing, but also how to record.
Okay,
Like,
right.
So basically, if I were to be dropped into a recording studio, I would know how to handle myself. I'd know what to do. Like if I were to
In
run
what, plugging it in or playing it?
and plugging it in, playing it, recording it, like
Yeah.
decorum, how how the business side works, and
okay.
things like that. So pretty much
interesting.
teaching you how to be a session musician would probably be the better way to put it.
So you can sight read?
I used to be able to.
You used to be able to. Surely it's something you don't forget, is it?
I mean, you get really rusty at it.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
just unpracticed.
But you know all the chords and things like
I know
that.
all the chords. I know all the
finger picking
scales.
stuff.
I
so
can
you
finger
don't scale.
pick.
Okay.
I did jazz. I did a little bit of metal.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
you just basically the idea was for you to be a fully rounded guitarist, so that wherever you want to
Right.
go, or whatever opportunities you have, you can slip in. So it's like if there's if I wanted to be a teacher, I could do that
Yeah,
because
right.
I can teach you your scales. I can teach you your music
How to
theory.
hold it. And
how to hold
told me
it.
about the next stem thing that you.
Yeah, how to
just
set
on my
them
guitar.
up and
Yeah.
all
Oh,
that.
okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that was really fun. I think it was.
Why did you do that course? Did you want to be a
Yeah,
session
I wanted
musician?
to be a rock star.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I wanted to. I had a band at school that was fairly successful. We won like a People's Choice Award at a school thing, and we got to record some stuff. And I'm glad that's completely lost because those.
Did you actually got a professional recording?
Yeah,
of
we
on-
went to a recording studio
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and got a.
How was that experience? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
I've been a couple of times, and it's like being in a TV station. You know, a recording studio is the same, right? Dark room, instrument, big desk, and you're just laying down ideas, and then all of a sudden it sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, you like lay down ideas, and then you got the sound engineer going, or the producer, sound engineer, depending on how it's set up, and they're like, "What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
Like, try that higher up. It really cut through in this part." Or, so that was really good experience. I kind of later on in life, I even managed to go on tour for the Western United States.
Really?
Yeah, so that was fun, but it just
Man, you lived the dream.
yeah,
You just
totally.
flippantly say it. I went on tour.
Well,
That's a whole
no.
nother
Sorry.
segment.
To be clear, I didn't play. I wasn't playing.
Okay, so now we're getting down. Okay,
Yeah,
you
to
didn't
be
play.
clear, I didn't
You went
play.
on tour and you didn't play.
I didn't play. I was like helping out with the sound team and there was some other stuff that we were doing as well. While we were on tour. But I managed to go on tour, so got the whole experience. I was flying the line arrays, so the big stacks of speakers. You set them all up on the ground, and then there's like winches
Then
and
you
stuff
hoist them
to
up.
hoist them all up.
Oh, because that's what you see in rock concert. You see
Correct,
this
yeah.
string of speakers. Can you tell us and demystify? So is the bottom speaker the same as the top speaker, or is it a range of frequencies stacked up in a certain way?
They're usually roughly. It depends. Like, it depends. That's the usual thing. But it's usually the same. It's to the way to better think about it is from like a light perspective.
Right.
So if you wanted to light a room, the old school way of doing sound is you just have one big speaker and it just shines one big light like across the whole room. But the people in the front row are going to be blind, and the people in the back row is lights. So the way the line arrays work is they've got a set of speakers, and it's more like layered. So if you had to think of it as more like 12 lights, and this light's
that
really
makes
bright,
sense.
so it can go all the way to the back room. And this light is slightly less bright, so it can reach those people.
I learned something.
And then the one people sitting in the front row, or the people up the front of the mosh pit, there's another one, and that's toned down so it doesn't kill you.
That makes perfect sense. That's
Yeah.
why it's a little bit curved as well. You
Correct.
know? Oh, you demystified that for me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then if you want to get really complicated,
Yeah.
there's like subs on the ground versus flown subs, where they'll actually put subs in the air.
How does that work? Don't subs need to be grounded in order to get the vibration?
No, they're powerful enough.
Obviously, I've got some schooling to do on acoustic
Don't,
things.
don't worry. It gets so complicated that they sometimes put two subs back to back so that there's no sub sound going towards the stage because you can invert the polarity. Okay, we're going to get into really nerdy physics.
Whoa,
stuff.
nerdiness is good.
We'll stop there. But yeah, it was really fun.
Brilliant. So that was the musical side of things.
That was music, yeah.
And the rock star thing didn't work out, or you lost interest in that?
I think I got more interested in helping other people. I felt, because when it was all about me, it was all about me, and there's like this always felt something missing. Like even when you're in a band, it's like you have to hold your own like a little bit. And I really love being in the sound perspective because as someone who's played quite a lot of music with quite a lot of people, you know, like they'll all be usually my experience is most people now have in-ears.
Yes.
So they have their own in-ears in. So if you don't know what in-ears are,
or just make sure your microphone doesn't scratch on your neck.
if you want to know what in-ears are, basically like earpods.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But what you would do is you'd have a wireless pack on your hip. So there is the sound going to the speakers in the room, but then there's a whole nother desk or like mix, which is like the music's set up in a way, and that's sent to the musician's ears.
Yes.
So each
They
person...
usually just have one though, don't they?
no, it's actually super bad for you. Never do that.
Okay,
It'll ruin your
I've
hearing.
just seen people on stage and they usually just have one kind of thing.
It's really bad for you.
Yeah, I bet it would be, yeah.
Unless it's ported, which is when they put like a little hole in it so that it doesn't block the sound around you.
Oh, okay.
But usually they seal, like the professional ones actually mold to your ear canal.
Right.
So you like screw them into your ears and you hear nothing but that music.
Wow.
But that's how...
That takes you kind of away from the moment though, isn't it? Isn't part of the being on stage just, but I guess when you get to the, 1,000 people screaming at you, you probably don't want to hear that kind
in
of
the early 2010s, everyone was loving it because that way you have a click going into your ears as well.
Right.
So everyone has the same click. Now it's just the like peaks and troughs in terms of interest. So when it first came out, everyone was like, this is the future of music and this is awesome. Everyone's in sync, everyone's in time. And now people are like, it's feeling a little lifeless, it's feeling a little stilted. Like, so they're still using in-ears, they're just not using click tracks and things like that. Or they're using like ported so that they feel like they're more in the room. So like one of the really interesting things is what made a huge difference with some of the musicians I was working with is we put microphones facing the room.
Okay.
So that when they played, they didn't just hear their instruments in isolation, they heard it in context of the room.
Yes, right. That would make a lot more sense.
Psychoacoustically, you're always hearing sound in context of a room.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically having the in-ears side and I found that really interesting is that pairing between building something for the people on the stage versus I had fun doing that and just I love sound and I love giving people a voice.
Yes.
Even if people I don't like, if we sat across from each other and you opposed every belief I had, I would want you to speak so people could know whether I'm right or you're right.
Right, yes, right.
And not right as in like you should be silenced, but no as in like, am I going to agree with that or am I going to agree with this? And I don't know, I love that. I love being able to facilitate that, even if I think it's detestable.
Okay. Well, when you say facilitate that, like you talking to someone or you being the mediator between two people who have opposing viewpoints?
Well, more in like the context of media.
Right.
Like I recently...
Is debate though safe these days? Because that's part of the problem, isn't it?
I think it's demonization of the, like, I think it's when you take the person, my perspective is, I don't look at you and judge you based on your ideas. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can disagree with you. Like, unless you're planning to eat my child, I can probably I can disagree with you on most things and still find value. Right, okay. Like, you can be a nice, like, if I'm the most left person in the world, like I think, like everyone, there should be no property rights. Everyone should give up their, like, if I believe that and you believe the complete opposite to me, I could still be your friend because that's your idea. I don't think it's right that we should attack someone or hate someone based on an idea.
Like a belief system.
Yeah, I think we the truth and who we are is found in that tension. That tension of ideas. Like, can I value you more than I value my ideas? And if you and I think a lot of the time people don't have strong beliefs. That's why when they get into those, they get so heated.
Yeah. And it's such a shame because you miss out on a totally different point of view.
Definitely, you might learn or change.
What's really sad is how dangerous even having a different opinion can become, you know. It's all good to have a different opinion, but when people act on it, that's the dangerous part. Like,
What do you mean by people act on it?
so if you don't agree with me, I'm going to make sure I'm going to hurt you and your family.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to make sure that you're disadvantaged in society because your belief system is different to my belief system.
100%.
Rather than just, I kind of draw the line. If you don't hurt people, you can believe what you think, and you know,
Yeah,
and
totally.
for the most part, say what you want. If you don't go out there and actually cause physical harm, it's okay to believe whatever you want to
I
believe.
agree.
You know,
Yeah,
fairies or whatever, or you know, more diehard kind of stuff like rock. Like if you love death metal, but I'm a country music guy, you know. I love the idea of sparring with you, you know. I can call it crap and you can call my thing crap and we have a laugh at it and that's it, you know.
But you get people who will lose their...
But
Yeah.
but if you identify with being a metalhead, so as soon as I criticize metal music, I'm criticizing you personally, right? And then it's real war.
I think the thing is people haven't done the work to find out who they are, so they attach to these these ideas. Does that make sense? Like,
Explain that.
like I am more than my political opinion. You know, like,
No, you're not.
No, yeah, exactly. Like I'm
So
more
what do you
than
do
my...
with that then when people say, no, you're not, that's it. You're with us or against us. Where do you go from there?
I leave them. I'm like, you're just gonna have to hate me then. That's your it's your call. But I think that's the thing, is it's I'm more than my political opinion. And I think if you believe one political party 100%, you back them every single time, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Because everyone's selling it.
Yeah, man.
You know, everyone's selling you Kool-Aid.
Oh,
and,
everyone's selling Kool-Aid.
I mean, and it's like, if I agree with every single thing that comes out of this person's mouth, I'm like, that's a sign I should be looking at myself, being like, is this actually healthy?
It's also very lazy, isn't it?
I think that's, yeah. So that's what I try to get to, is that they haven't done the work to find out who they are. So it's very easy to attach to these ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I had a Texan roommate, and I used to think the fact that Americans had guns was so dumb. I was like, you guys are gun nuts. You can all kill each other. And he was hardcore. Like, you walk into the house, and at the end of the hallway between the bedrooms is a loaded shotgun.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
really.
Like, this was his place,
Yes.
and I was staying there. I grew up around guns, but I was like, this is just another story. So, like, the shotgun there, he had an AR-15 underneath his bed. And
Wow.
in the built-in cupboard there was a pistol, and then there was this much shotgun ammo, this much handgun ammo, this much AR-15 ammo, and at the bottom was all the board games. It was like this guy could stage the Alamo from the house.
And why do you think he had all this stuff?
Well, because he's like, it was a part of the culture. Like, yeah, he went through and I can't go through it because I'll just butcher it. But like, he went through and explained all the way back to like how America was founded and why they believe this and everything like that. And I'm like, I don't know if he fully won me over, but I'm definitely way more understanding.
Okay.
And my understanding made me be like, okay, I actually get it. Like, there is good reason why you have that. Whether I fully agree or not, I'm still a bit vague, honestly, but to the degree that it should be, but I get it. And
that's a good way a healthy way to look at it. Like from his point of view, it makes perfect sense to have this and this, and there's a reason behind it.
Like,
right?
it's logically okay for that to be a thing. It's not just like, it's not paranoia. It's not anything like that. It's just, he crunched the numbers, and this
is what he came up with.
This is what they came up with as a culture, and I'm like, can't really.
And if you can accept that in another, I mean, if he went and took the gun and started shooting people, I'd have a problem with that. If he wanted to have guns inside the house and things, well, it's up to him. It's his place.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
his mentality. And what you were saying before, you don't judge a person by, you know, what they have, because we don't have that connection, right? When someone justifies having something and you're just seeing the object in the corner without any context, and you put your own moral judgment on it, you should not have that gun in the house kind of thing, because my group thinks this, but his group thinks this kind of thing. And you just miss out on the whole context and even be able to connect to a fellow human being who has done the sums, and his conclusion is that. You've done the sums and your conclusion is this. But you're still two people,
But-
right?
and
And you
the-
can still
And the truth is,
treat each other well.
I don't have the experience that they've had.
That's right, exactly. Yeah.
Like culturally and historically, they've had experiences that I like. Again, I experienced their culture firsthand based on our last conversation while I was in the
Which no
States.
one's heard.
Oh yes, yeah. So while I was in America, I almost got shot.
Tell that story, because
Yeah.
that's a good one.
I think, but to preface it, I was in the wrong, and if he shot me, it would have been my fault. So I was a part of I was studying in the States, and a part of the study we did is we adopted a block, and it was called neighborhood transformation. And the idea is we go to a neighborhood, we knock on the doors, we connect people with things they need. You know, do they need money? Do they need food? Do they need
So you're walking
housing?
around with no weapons or anything?
No, no.
You're being
Just-
a good Samaritan.
just
trying to help the community out.
like
no, not a threat at all. You know?
No. Like like one of the things we were doing is it was in the US. So during Thanksgiving, the school we were a part of, they'd throw on a massive Thanksgiving feast, like cutlery, like the full thing. Like, and this is for like, oh, by the way, this place we stayed in, tons of homeless, tons of drugs, tons of kids. So that's kind of why we were there, was to try and.
So was it like a banquet hall that you set up, or
Yeah,
did you
like,
deliver?
There would be a banquet hall, and they would actually go get buses, and they would pick up everyone, and we would knock on people's doors and be like, "Hey, the bus is arriving. If you guys want to come." So like those were the type of things we were doing. Mental health services, rehab facilities, like we were doing good work. Like we were there to physically and in some cases mentally help people. And we knocked on this guy's door, and he's like, we didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. The guy next to me goes, I think I hear help. So we knock on the door, and we put our ear against the door. We hear help. We ungraciously open the door, and there's a guy in a mobility scooter.
When you say ungraciously, you're going to have to elaborate on that.
We forcefully open the door
Okay, with your shoulder or with a foot?
with a foot.
Okay, there you go. Now we got the image.
And so this guy was on a mobility scooter. So it was the one with the joystick.
Okay.
But the ones with the joystick have arms that they sit on, and this guy had fallen over in his chair, and like I think he must have broken a rib or something, because he was like hunched over the arm of the thing, and we guess he'd been there like about 10 hours. So he'd been there.
Right.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he'd been there a while. So we rush in. The guy in front of me, me being me, I'm like looking around, making sure this wasn't a robbery that we've interrupted. The other guy just runs for him, and he picks him up, and the guy messed himself. So he's like up to elbows in all of it. He's just like all over him. So he goes into the bathroom and starts, cleaning himself up. I sit the guy against the couch like this, so push his back up against it, and he's like, water. So I run to the kitchen, so the couch is here, he's lying here, and then it's like a little hallway to the side where the kitchen is. So I go into the kitchen, I come out with a bottle of water. His neighbors heard us ungraciously open the door, and I've got a handgun pointing in my face.
Oh, shit.
And I was just like, I freaked out and dropped the glass of water, and I was like, call an ambulance. My
Did you,
hands.
like this? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
dropped and I was like, call an ambulance. And the guy, I think he also heard I had an accent. He
Okay.
knew what we were doing. He knew, so I think he put two and two together and decided not to
Shoot you
shoot
on
me
the spot?
on the shot. Oh yeah, on the spot. So
Because that's the thing, right? He could have shot you,
100%.
and he would have been perfectly justified. You were a stranger in his neighbour's home,
Who
therefore he
forcefully
has a
opened the
right
door.
to protect his neighbour, right?
yeah, I forcefully opened the door.
Yes.
His neighbor's chair is on the floor.
Yeah.
I've got him up against the, like, I could be robbing him. I could be doing anything to the poor guy. So yeah, he would have had every right to make me holier than I currently was. And anyway, ambulance comes, picks him up. Police don't come. No one called the police, just the ambulance.
Really, even, I don't know.
Well, what would I do?
No,
I'm
that's not
like,
exactly.
I did something dumb and he almost shot me, and the cops would be like,
Yeah, well.
good thing you didn't call us, because
Well,
we would have.
it's not like he shot at you and missed, so there wasn't a gunshot.
Even if he did,
Really, no one would bother to
Not it
call
was a
you.
kind of neighborhood. No one would do anything.
Gunshots are just a usual.
I wouldn't think it's usual, but
Right.
there was quite a seedy neighborhood, and no one would want to be involved.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Or no one wanted to get the police involved.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we go off and the ambulance comes. The ambulance, you put him in the ambulance, goes off. The guy invites us to go upstairs and get high with him as an apology. I was like,
How?
thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing about how life works. I find is that you started in one situation, and that whole situation could turn around so beautifully. You know. You
Yeah,
basically, I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. You're helping someone, you nearly died, but then once the context was understood between all parties, you all came together and, hey, fellow human, let's celebrate. You know, how do you go from this victimization thing to suddenly celebrating just connection? And that I find that astounding, and I try to see that in as many different places in the world as possible.
I think, and it goes back to what we were saying before. It's like if you aren't willing to see someone else's perspective, it's easy to demonize someone because you're like, you know what I mean? Like if I had to, depending on how I told that story, I could make that other guy the bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would have gone, and you should have grabbed a fork and stabbed him before he shot you, kind of thing.
Yeah. He pulled a gun on you. That's messed up. You know, like I was helping someone.
Yeah.
I could have, but from his perspective,
Yes.
I'm like, if I were in his shoes and I had a neighbor downstairs, and I knew that I could go get a gun and protect him if I needed to, I'm like, what would you have done?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably the same thing. Yeah.
Because I mean, like you go down there and they've got guns and you got a kitchen knife. You're like, you know what? You know, he put himself, for all he knew, he could have died helping that
You
guy.
could have had a gun on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he risked his life really to kill you.
Yeah.
Or potentially kill you.
Yeah.
But-
To make an awkward conversation. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. But and the beauty of it is like people go, oh, that's super traumatic. And for me, I'm like, someone asked me that. Like I told someone the other day, and they're like, "Isn't that super traumatic? Like, don't you have nightmares and stuff?" I'm like, "Not in the slightest." Because if I died, I was doing something worthwhile. Mm-hmm. So if I got shot and died, like, I know people would say that's a stupid way to go.
There are stupider ways to go.
There are
but yes,
stupider ways to go.
Yeah.
But people would say like, fairly enough that that's a dumb way to go. But for me, I'm like, I did so trying to help someone, and I'm like. I was a 24-year-old, not married, no kids, like just wanting to do something meaningful with my life. And I'm like, for me, that would have been fine. Because I was like, I died helping someone.
Yes.
How many of you,
There's really nothing more noble than dying for a core belief that you have as a human, right?
especially if it doesn't hurt anyone.
No, but it can also be very misplaced.
100%.
But to put your life on the line for, in your mind, the greater good, you know, does it get more noble than that? I mean, people will judge.
Yeah.
Your greater good is not a greater good, it's actually evil, don't do it kind of thing. And this is where the whole context comes into it. I mean, but it's a tough one.
That's why I don't debate ideas with people.
Right.
Because me personally.
What do you mean debate ideas?
Like I generally don't talk too much about what I believe or go back. Like this is very rare for me. This is not a normal conversation I'd have with someone.
Okay.
It's
Welcome
probably,
to this couch in space.
Yes, yeah. Couch in space.
Where we're spaced out.
Yeah.
See that little.
I love it. I've been staring at it.
Yeah, so it's a truth serum.
Oh,
so,
that makes
it's
sense.
messing with your head, so all the secrets are going to come out.
I'll blame you. But
lemon scented, by the way. No,
yeah, it smells great in here. The reason I don't is like because of that. I'm talking to people who have ideas.
Yes.
They don't actually have beliefs a lot of the time. Like you talk to people and they have ideas, and I'm like,
Yes.
I'm not like. You're not looking for truth. You're not looking to find. You're not really looking to understand. You're just wanting to have a combative. You're wanting to win.
Well, you're wanting to win. That's it.
Or you're wanting to talk, And I'm like, like that's a part of figuring it out. To be fair, but it's like when you had a gun in your face, you're like, yeah, like I don't really feel the need to convince anyone of anything.
No, no.
And I think most people who are, like, I think it's the same with you. Like, you have you have core beliefs, and you've built. I was listening to someone talk about it the other day. They're like, you build a palace. You build like a castle. And it's like you got your core beliefs, and then you've got your courtyard, and then you've got all these stages, and that's how you build your life.
Yes.
As you have these things, and life's job is to test your core beliefs. So it's like life will test your core beliefs, and what stays, and what shakes, and what breaks and needs to be replaces. But you build that, and then how you decide to operate your cities, how you bring people in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I see you, and you've got like a really robust one, and you've got very porous outer walls. You know, there's not a lot of people you would consider unsafe. You know what I mean?
Not really, yeah.
And that's why I like these conversations with people like you, because it's like you don't have someone who's like, everyone who does not agree or anyone who can shake my beliefs is completely locked out. Where you're like, no, like if you shake my beliefs, that means I get to test if they're real or not.
So imagine if people went around the world, rather than wanting to win, are actually wanting to understand. I was doing some work at a high school yesterday, and teaching podcasting, part of Will's thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just there as a support if their students needed help with anything. And these are 15, 16-year-olds. You know, a lot of them are not very engaged with the whole thing. But I took the opportunity to just go, there were about 16 of them, and I went one by one and said, oh, where are you up to? What's your podcast about? And they shared with me their idea and things like that. And I was really blown away that a lot of the themes of the podcast were about human connection. They wanted to talk to people that have been through struggles and how did they get out of them. They wanted to talk about how do other students cope with difficult situation. And it was kind of, it filled my heart and also broke it a little bit, because obviously there's such a big need to connect, and people are wanting to connect and wanting to belong, and even just wanting to get perspective of a situation that they themselves may not quite have it figured out, but they know by talking about it, they possibly could, or at least not feel that they're alone in this situation.
Yeah.
Have you come across that?
Yeah, I've got a
Like with other people, you know,
with other
not
people.
students as such.
Yeah, definitely. With other people, but I think from a lot of what I've seen with Gen Z is like, you think about it, a lot of them had 3 years of high school or middle school or university interrupted. So like these really formative years, they were like locked away from each other. And I mean, they have social media to fight, which is brutal. Like,
It's brutal.
the dumb things I said as a teenager would get me like, I'd be locked up in some countries based on the things I
Probably
said.
shot full of holes.
Yeah, shot full. Like I did
We
and
all
said
did, of
the
course,
dumbest things. But
Imagine that's amplified. Every time you made one little mistake, it's amplified, and you're the worst person in the world.
I think it's also, yeah, definitely. And then social media, it's like forever record. Do you know what I mean? Like you were at a party and you said something dumb and someone caught her on their phone. That's forever. So these kids are like walking on eggshells because one wrong thing, one wrong thought to say. I mean, I think there's very few wrong thoughts, because if you can deal with it at thought level, it never manifests into physical level.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I feel for them, man. They must be rough.
Oh,
And then trying to connect with people, because it's like, hey, I'm going to try and connect with this person, and the person goes, ha ha ha, this guy tried to be my friend, what a loser. You know, like, not that anyone would do that, but like those are the fears that run through like a teenager's mind.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, I feel for them. Like,
But even with adults, you know, when you meet someone new, you have to be very careful, because you know just how. Well, you're saying before, you complimented me that you obviously feel comfortable talking to me about different things, but that's not for the most part. You can't go to your local plumber and you say, hey, nice weather we're having. Oh, by the way, you know, this political party isn't doing a good job. That guy would probably murder you. Or just don't even get started about American politics. And it just gets people fired up so much and so polarized, and all based on a lot of the stuff that we hear, it's all surface level stuff. I mean, who actually does the research and things and finds out, yes, it's terrible if it's true, but how do you even measure how it's true,
Oh,
what perspective is it coming from? And now that you have media organizations that are leaning one way or another, there's such a distortion of what's true that you just pick one and you subscribe to that. I mean, where do you find a balance? How do you go about your life, Wes, finding a balance between what is true and what isn't?
I think I worry about the things I can control and not the things I can't. That really good. Like,
That's a very well.
there was a guy who told me, he's like, don't spend your life chasing demons. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, don't spend your life chasing demons. And it was when I was doing the like neighborhood runs, because I wanted everything bad I wanted to fix. That guy's selling drugs. This person, like I wanted to fix everything, and it probably came off really douchey in hindsight, because it was like super judgmental. Yeah. But it wasn't judgmental. It was like I wanted to,
especially in youth. I mean, in my 20s, I was. My son now is very judgmental. Got a very good, clear idea. No, this is shit. This is good, and that's it. It's very little give or take there.
Because you're finding out.
But you're still trying to position yourself, and
you're still orientating who you are in the world.
And once you get more life experience and have more interactions, things start to become things aren't so black and white.
Yeah.
Damn it, life's complicated. Shit, it's not easy.
Yeah, I wanted to be an adult, and now it sucks. I remember that.
Adulting sucks, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's go get high.
You could do that, I guess. Yeah. But I think that's kind of how I oriented myself. I'm like, what can I do for my family? What can I do for the people around me? I'm like, in film Sorry, I was talking about chasing demons. I got lost there.
Yeah.
Talking about chasing demons, and he's like, you try and fix every single problem. He's like, you trying to fix every single problem, you're going to be no good. You're just going to be loud and annoying. Because you're going to go, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And everyone's like, yeah, we know what's wrong. We're waiting
like
for
our political parties, right? No solutions, just problems.
Problems, yeah. And he's like, everyone's like, he goes, yeah, everyone knows what's wrong. They're just looking for someone who will do anything.
Yeah.
Like the bar is so low that if you just try to do anything, you'll have people who hate you and people who love you. So he's like, as long as you try to do something and you're getting enough negative feedback and enough positive feedback, at least you're doing something. And it kind of helped with the setting up the business as well and starting to do online content. Is there's people who are like, bro, your stuff sucks, stop doing it, it's so annoying. And it's like friends. And then you got other people who are like, dude, I'm seeing you everywhere, you must be doing so well. And I'm like, thank you. And I'm like,
you must be trying really hard, you're going your own way kind of
and
thing.
I'm making mistakes, and fortunately that's what the internet is. It's a full record of all your mistakes. So I'm just making my mistakes. I'm not chasing the demons. I'm trying to fix the things I can fix, and I've picked a few.
How do you get the courage to make mistakes? Because that's something I see, like when I was at the school, and with especially the Gen Zs, they seem to be terrified of making any sort of mistake or looking a little bit foolish even, what happened to the class clown? The one that did something crazy, or everything's just so
it's just a different world.
Yeah.
But I think a part of it is exposure. Yeah, I mean, I was dyslexic at school. Like, I don't talk about it often, but I was like,
a lot of people are. I'm surprised how many people.
Like I struggle, man. Books and me were not good. Like, I've found ways around it. Like, I passed school. Like, I didn't, like, it wasn't that bad. But man, like, I was reading with a ruler. I was that kid who would read with a ruler, so I could actually, because I couldn't focus on the line. I get lost, and so that's how I used to read. But yeah, like there is that, but I think it was just that I was like, I'm either gonna fail myself or I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
Because the school were like, we want people to write for you. Do you want someone to come and write for you? I'm like, well, if someone come and write for me, how am I ever gonna learn to write?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, no, if I'm gonna pass, I've always had a bit of a chip. I was like, if I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna pass myself, and I'm gonna fail, you're gonna fail me. Because my teacher said, like, I knew the stuff, it's just I failed because I couldn't write it down.
Yes. A lot of people are like that.
Yeah, so it's like I wasn't an idiot. I just
No.
did the brain to hand thing just didn't work too
Yeah.
great. So, you know, I think I just learned to fail and fail publicly. I mean, like,
Right.
that I was back in school where people would say, "Oh, okay, you passed. Like, these are all the people who passed. Boom, 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 boom. Here's all the
then you
people
get
who
to
got
Wes,
boom, boom, boom."
not so much.
Yeah, not so much. So, but I think that's it. Is you get
Yeah.
used to it. You realize, oh, I can fail and not die.
Yeah, that's it. It does teach you resilience to a certain point. Hey?
But I think it's you. I think where people get wrong is they try and jump to exposure. They try and jump to like just failing and just sucking it up. But I think having the right support system around you prior to failing. So it's like I knew I had friends, and I didn't have lots of friends, but I had really good friends.
Yeah.
And if I failed or not, they didn't care.
Yeah.
Like my parents cared, but
Well, they're the most judgmental out of everyone, right? No, not
Yeah,
really.
yes and
That's
no.
the way we see them, right? We project
as
a
a
lot
teenager.
on our parents.
As a
And
teenager.
even growing up, I mean, you're always going to be the kid, right? And they're always going to be the senior of you being a junior, right? Even if you have your own kids,
Yeah,
there's
little
always
bit.
that kind of hierarchy.
I'm from a South African family, so we're very tight, and
Right.
I think it's again like because you're tight, your fights are either this fight is either going to break relationship or make relationship stronger.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I was brought up.
Right.
Whereas like conflict means we both care.
Yes, right.
If you cared and I didn't, I wouldn't be in the room, so there would be no
absolutely.
reason for a conflict.
This is what people need to actually understand, because a lot of people think, oh, they want to fight with me, they're just out to ruin me kind of thing. But yeah, they're giving up their time to fight with you, you know?
Yeah, it's like-
you are their number one focus in this world at the moment,
Yeah.
and they're giving you shit for it. And yeah, yeah.
I'm an only child, so I can't speak. But
Right,
my
okay.
my wife's one of like she's big family, so I watch them fight, and I'm like, it's like all my assumptions just are like, yeah, I'm 100% right. Like they're fighting and they're yelling at each other, and her brother was visiting us, and he's sitting on her, like physically. She's in her 30s, and he's in his mid 20s, and he's like sitting on her, like pinching her, and
Just being playful.
yeah, just being playful, like brother sister fighting. I'm like, as a husband, I don't know what to do about this because this is family, but.
Yeah, I think you just stay away, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. But and I'm like, but it's like the love and the conflict and everything is all a part of the package, and the opposite of love is indifference, not conflict. So I think having that of like conflict, I can either let this make our relationship stronger, or I can have it dissolve our relationship.
Yeah.
So
It takes a brave person to draw a line like that, doesn't it?
but I was trained like that.
Yeah, right.
So I was super lucky. I didn't have to make that decision. I grew up in an environment where that decision was the standard.
Yes. Well, at least it pushes an outcome.
Yeah, definitely.
I think being complacent or letting things fester, that's the worst thing
That's
you
the
can
worst,
do.
yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, and a lot of the communication that people are having with each other, they just know the half of it and then project the absolute worst possible thing, like, oh, this person hasn't responded, it's been 2 days, or how dare they must hate me, or something like,
Yeah.
you know, the brain goes into overload, and then suddenly you become obsessed with it. And I see that a lot with just even really small things, and from the other person's point of view, it was either just missed email or something happened in their life that was major, and it had nothing to do with you whatsoever.
Or they just
but
got
people
distracted.
take things so
Yeah.
personally that even though it's not, kind of thing.
I think I learned that one of the things I learned with playing guitar, because when you do like performances like that, you're doing them so often, and you're so critical of yourself, and you're like, you always think people are judging you the way you judge you, where often you're your worst critic, and it's overstated. But I think the part that people miss is people do not think about you nearly as much as you think they do. Like,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
you spoke and you like did a few ums.
Yeah.
They're not even, unless they're sitting there like with a scorecard. Like they're
And is it a privilege that someone's sitting there hanging on your every word? There's an he had 6 ums in this podcast. He probably doesn't know shit what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love negative feedback because it's an opportunity to get better.
Feedback.
It gives me an opportunity to get better, or to look at like.
Is it negative or is it constructive? What if it's just, oh, you're shit? Do you love that? Because what do you do with that, right?
No,
That's not constructive, right? You've got nothing to work with, right? Someone looked at you and decided, no, I don't like this person. Doesn't care about what you said. It's just something, your aura is just not gelling and I'm going to judge you on that. Do you give them the time of day?
I guess if it's straight up, just like absolute, just like you suck, then I don't even really pay attention. I'm like, okay. But when the person is like, you sound like a horse drinking water, like, or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's something that could be true. That like lip smacking sound. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah.
Before every sentence.
Yeah. So if someone said that to me, I'm like, okay, I'll look into that. I'll work with that. I'm like, I have very expensive audio editing software, and my favorite feature is the one that removes lip smacks.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I totally understand that. Where I'm like, it's really, you've been very mean to me, but I totally understand what you're struggling with. So I like that kind of feedback.
Okay.
But again, because I was growing up in that structure where confrontation is not a bad thing. Confrontation is an opportunity to get better.
Yeah.
Or to build a stronger relationship. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've even done studies with businesses, and businesses who have messed up and fixed it have higher loyalty than companies that have never messed up at all.
Right. Or pretend they've never messed up.
That's impossible, even the worst. Right? Yeah. But I mean, like for you personally, like if I made a mistake and you're like, dude, you dropped the ball on this, but then I did everything within my power to fix it, the loyalty is so much higher than the person who never made that mistake.
Yeah.
So it's...
Because it's easy to get on with someone when things are going swimmingly, right?
Yeah.
But if there's a challenge or an obstacle that arises that you both have to overcome, it builds a stronger connection. So you can either, be split apart, or you can actually be stronger together kind of thing.
Yeah.
I always give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like when someone cuts you off in traffic, this road rage thing.
Yeah.
People take it so personally. It's not. The person just made a mistake, or he didn't see you, or he's had a bad day. Yes, 1 in 100 might be an aggressive driver, but again, so what? Give them space, let them do their thing. It's not about you kind of thing. But I don't understand this aggressiveness that, how dare he cut me off? I am right here. How dare he not see me? I want to be validated, and that person dishonored me. I'm going to get him.
I come from a family of like serious road rages.
Let's unpack this
like
one.
Crazy levels of road rage. But because I used to be like that. I used to be so. But I learned a bit of the psychology about it. This is really weird, right? So when you're in your car, like if we're talking like this, we're fine, right? We're from a city, so like. To give you guys perspective, our knees are like 2 hands apart. So this is a comfortable.
Oh, even one. Okay.
Just short of one, 1 hand apart. So we're comfortable with this level of conversation. So what happens when you drive is your physical bubble actually becomes your car.
Right.
So when someone cuts you off, it's the same as me sticking my hand in your face or me breaking your personal bubble. Mm-hmm. And that's why people get upset. So I went and actually looked into the psychology of it.
That kind of makes sense, yeah.
And I was like, but that's kind of dumb. Like, they're not sticking their hand in my face. Like, they're
just bumping into you, they're going one way, you're going another way, like in a mall,
Yeah.
Suddenly someone bangs your handbag or your shoulder, you go, oh, sorry, and that's it. But no one can say they're sorry when they're in the car. You can't hear them.
No.
A lot of times people probably realise, oh shit, I just cut them off, and they do a little wave kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
or they try and hide, or
or something like that. Yeah,
pretend
exactly.
it never happened, or whatever the case is. So I when I learned that definitely brought that down, and it's also I was listening to a podcast with an ex-CIA guy that I found really interesting, and he was saying like the best way to deal with people like that is there are pricks in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like, and if you get someone in your life and they just repeat the same, let's say they lie, that's probably the best one. And everything they say is a lie. There are people in the world that are just liars. And when you can step back and you're not going to be like, I hate him because he always doesn't tell me the truth. When you step back and you go, that person is a liar. And you can remove it. No longer do you want to like, the tension there dissipates, and it's more like you view them as in a state rather than a human, like you view the lying as a state rather than them as a human being the problem.
Right.
You'd be like, wonder what happened to this person where they had to lie every single word for them to be okay. You know, like having that
as soon as you remove the expectation of that person,
100%,
like,
that's the best way to put it.
if you want to know the truth, you don't go to someone that lies, get it, and then be upset that he lied, right?
Yeah.
There's some people you can talk, like topics. There's certain people you talk about topics, but if you were to talk about topics that we talk about to someone who hates these kind of topics and gets aggressive, and then you judge them for it, oh, I could talk about with Dan, but, you know, that guy, he was just an asshole and, you know, really upset. I should be able to talk to everyone about this topic. You know, it makes it about you then, and where's the compassion in that, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have to meet my expectations that I have of you that are completely uncommunicated.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Aren't people fascinating, right?
People are super fun. Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things I had in my relationship with my wife was I do not pick up hints. I am not that person at all. Like, I cannot read
Are
a
you on
room.
the spectrum slightly?
Probably, dude. I don't
Have you
know.
ever been tested? Like,
I have been
a lot of
tested.
people have, that seems to be a very popular thing, that people that have always felt that, oh, I'm a bit off. Why? And then suddenly they get an ADD test or something like this, and then it comes back with, oh, you're kind of on the border of this spectrum or whatever. I mean, everyone's on the spectrum at some point, right?
I kind of don't care anymore. Like after the, I just kind of, I'm not concerned. I'm like, these are my cards. My job is to deal with them. Like, you can put whatever name to you want, so that makes you feel better. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything for me. So, like I said before, I'm worried about what I can control, and putting a name to it doesn't. For me personally,
It's not helpful. To be honest, it's not helpful.
It doesn't help me.
No.
And sometimes what I find is when I was given that dyslexia title, it became like I became very comfortable with. I almost became comfortable with failure because I had a massive excuse for it.
Right.
Like, oh, I won't try. I won't do that because I'm dyslexic. I'll screw up anyway. And it became like an excuse for not actually becoming who I could be, or taking chances that I could take.
Yeah.
So I kind of avoid that now because I realize for me personally that does not have a healthy outcome. So, but yeah, I could be on the spectrum, but that tension.
How far on the spectrum?
I'll leave you to decide that.
I'm thinking that in.
No, I'm good. I love it.
There's some constructive feedback.
Oh, you should see my brother-in-law and I. The things
really?
we do.
Is he like you? Like, does he think in a similar way?
No, we're completely opposite.
Oh,
But we
okay.
just do the meanest things to each other,
Oh,
and it's
really?
because we love each other.
Yeah, okay.
Other people are like, that's so messed up, and we're like, I love it. But my wife and I, when we first started dating, I was like, if you don't tell me how you feel, I won't know.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I might be a little bit on the spectrum, but I also think it's a really good rule to have in general, because it's like, it's I don't know, for me, I think it's pretty messed up for me to say, I need you to do X, but I don't have to tell you. You should just know that. You should. So from the very beginning, we had that in place. Like I would make a mistake and she wouldn't tell me, but her actions or how she showed herself she was hurt,
Yes.
I would chase her down and I'd be like, you have to tell me what I've done wrong so I can apologize or fix it.
Yeah. Right.
Because I understand not everything can be fixed, but I need to I need to make this as right as I can to restore the relationship, because there's been a disconnect. So,
And that works. How did she respond to that?
I think she struggled with it in the beginning. Like, to be honest, I think she did find it hard, but
Because there are
operates.
some people that are really they're very straightforward, very methodical. It makes perfect sense and so forth. And there's people that are ultra sensitive to things, and sometimes even too sensitive to things, right? And how good is it that you basically both know where each other lies? You know there's a distance, but you've built so many bridges that, okay, in order to cope with this, he's not being mean or he's not being insensitive because he wants to be. This is just the way I've read the situation, and this is kind of what happened. Right?
Well, I tell her to call me out. Like so there's the
Do you
other
call her out? Does it go the other way as well?
Yeah, it goes
Okay,
both ways.
okay.
So it's kind of like you need to tell me. So there's that you need to tell me, but then it's also like when you said X, what did you mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I have to have an account for what I've done as well. So it's not just like, oh, I can do whatever I want, and it's your job to tell me to and then I fix it. But it's kind of like I'm still accountable for the words that I say, because we've built the other side of that in, where it's kind of like, just because I haven't communicated it doesn't mean, or just it doesn't mean I can say anything and then clean it up after. It's, what did you mean by X?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And we have conversations like, it's our job to believe the best of each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if you...
Well, if she's your partner, of course,
Yeah, 100%.
it should be the default, right?
But people don't think like that.
Right.
A lot of people don't think like that. And I think we just try to make it very... very external. So the reason I started doing like a lot of that side of things was her best friend. So we met in the States, and she lived in the same house as her and her best friend.
Okay.
We hung out all the time. Like every weekend we were hanging out. But I was Ashley's boyfriend, and she was the best friend. So there was no... I did not know where I stood with her.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm like, are you just hanging out with Ash and I'm the boyfriend that's there? Like, so I like... It sounds super weird. You think it is super weird. I'll give it to people. But I sat down with her and I'm like, I think you're awesome. I'm not hitting on you. I love your best friend, but I want to know, do we have a friendship, or are you just putting up with me because I'm with Ash? Like, are we just like, do we actually have a friendship, or are we just hanging out together?
Yeah.
Because either way, I'm happy, but I just think you're awesome, and I'd actually like you to be my friend as well.
Okay.
And she was like, I never thought of that. And she's like, yeah, let's be friends.
Okay.
And me and her there was one of the tightest friendships I had while I was in the States. And I realized it's because we had that conversation.
Right.
We're like, where do you stand and what do you want? And
you both felt a connection.
Yeah. She's like, I think you're awesome. Like, you're so good for her. And when I had questions, I could sometimes go to her friend. But because I knew where I stood and I knew the dynamics, I wasn't walking on eggshells, like you're saying that the students are.
Just keep it inside, right?
Yeah,
and
keep
you
it
never
inside.
bring it out in the open.
Well, what if she said no? I'm like, if she said no, she said no.
But then you can deal with it. That's the beauty about it. Once you know the answer, you can then decide what to do.
The unknown is 1,000 times worse than the known.
It's like death by 1,000 cuts, right?
100%.
And so many relationships. If I have any regrets in my life, it's just not being open enough and just saying, hey, what's the problem here? Can I help? Or, is there something I need to clarify?
How are you experiencing me was one of the best lines I ever heard in there.
How are you experiencing me? That's an interesting line.
That's one of the best ones I ever heard in marriage. It works really well.
Oh.
But it can be really rough too.
Oh, totally. Especially if you've buried a lot of stuff, it could be overwhelming.
Like, how are you experiencing me? You're super aggressive, or you're super passive, or you're this.
You're super annoying, and that just happened. Oh gosh.
And you're like, okay, where do we start now? Yeah, no, but that's the beauty of it. Is I think because I needed that to keep the relationship healthy.
Yeah.
And because I needed that, she honored that, and she was like, I agree.
That's awesome, man. That's really good that you found someone that honesty. I think you can forgive anyone as long as they're honest and truthful,
Yeah.
But if the trust is gone, there's really nowhere to go with that. That's the biggest thing that I put on a relationship, and I've always trusted anyone in my circle to the nth degree until I have a reason not to.
Exactly, and I think it's also the shortest route. I found that as well. Give people absolute trust, and you'll find out really quickly if they're going to abuse it.
Yeah, because people that aren't trustworthy, they have issues. They're not there to be mean and make your life hell.
No, they don't wake up wanting to be Lex Luthor. No,
you can decide whether you want to be around people like that, or at least you know how to deal with them. How much rope do you give people that you don't trust? Of course, you keep it very, short.
Yeah. Just keep it short like Poppy.
Don't keep it. Hey, where's Poppy? She's meant to be here. Do you have kids? How
Yes.
many kids do you have?
One boy.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah. One and one on the way.
Oh, one on the way.
One on the way.
Did you tell me that?
Nope.
Is it brand new news?
Brand new news.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I knew you had at least one. I wasn't sure whether you had two.
Yeah, we have one little guy. He's 3, and we don't know. It's not even 20 weeks yet. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Make more of you. How are they going to experience you?
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Well,
Is that another podcast?
I'll tell you in 20. Well, they'll tell you in 20 years, I guess.
I'll get them on the
Yeah,
podcast. Here's a flashback to your dad.
So everything he said was.
Now, so your 3-year-old,
Yeah.
you've got some challenges.
Yeah.
with him,
So.
are you able to talk about that?
Yeah, totally. So.
Because I think it would really help people
So he
navigate this kind of.
He was born with a rare kidney condition.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
actually, no. He was born with okay, I'll tell you exactly. So we found out at 20 weeks, they basically told us that he was goners. Like, that was...
Really, they wrote him off.
Like,
that's a really shit way to.
No. That's actually the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
They were like, he is gonna die. We suggest you abort. We suggest you do all these things, and we're like, if he's gonna die, he's gonna die. But we're not gonna be the ones to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So we're like, because we went for the 20-week scan, and the person who scanned him was like, and we're like, what? She's like, I can't really say, but this is not good. And we're like,
wow.
oh,
God,
dang.
you guys must have just.
Oh, it was crazy.
Just asked.
I was so out of it, I almost crashed on the way home.
No,
Yeah.
it's like, be hit with a baseball bat, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we went through that, and he was born with in the womb, he had a small bit of like skin that was blocking his urethra.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So what was
geez.
happening was he was drinking in the amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
It was going through his lungs and everything. Got to his bladder, and it just stopped.
And it couldn't go anywhere.
It was like a stoppage. It wasn't complete blockage, but it was a stoppage. So his kidneys, his bladder just blew up like massive balloons. Like he actually was born early because there wasn't enough water in the amniotic sac because it was all inside him. He came out looking like a gecko. I'm not even like his head, his like body, and then his like hips and stuff because it was so swollen.
Yeah, because it was just bloated, man.
Yeah, it was bloated like this, came out, and then his legs. So we went through that, and then it was like we had the best doctors.
Yes.
And we had the stupidest doctor.
Okay.
So that was the experience.
So you had best doctors plural, but you had one stupid one.
We had one person who just had no idea what they were talking about.
Okay.
Well, they were talking outside of their profession. And that was the issue. But we were expecting, like, he's born, everything was great. Well, he was working.
Yeah.
So they said, like, kidney transplant ASAP. So we were, like, in-stage kidney clinics for, like, most of his life. Like, Ash spent, like, about a month with him in hospital when he was first born. A couple of weeks with him.
Okay. Oh.
So she slept there's a bed that came out of the wall, and she slept there and he slept there. And every day I would leave at 10 o'clock, drive home, wake up, check my phone to make sure he was still there, and then come back. Because I was like, my fear was if anything happened to him, I don't want Ash to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were doing that, and eventually they're like, he's basically a miracle child. They're like, he's 100% going to need a kidney transplant. Now he's been super stable for about a year.
Wow.
A year to 6 months, he's been very stable. And now they're like, he might need a kidney transplant.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Just a might?
He might, yeah. So it was like, so when you're born, so there's like
the kidney is one of those magical organs that can actually regenerate itself?
It's incredible. Like, you don't need a kidney transplant until you're 20% kidney function.
Really? Wow, it can just run on 20%.
You're gonna need some help, and it's gonna be rough. But you can survive. That's when you start to need a new kidney. He's currently 50.
Right.
Between both of them, so
Okay,
he's 50%.
right.
So it's
And increasing, like it's going. Was
fairly
it
stable.
Okay. Was it always 50, or
No, well,
it started to rise from like 30 and then started going up?
the way they say is it's usually like a projection. So it's like it starts good and just gets worse.
Oh, okay.
So we were super lucky. When you're born, your kidney, so the way they do a test and they check your blood, and they can tell by the poisons in your blood how well your kidneys are functioning.
Oh, okay.
So his should be 20.
Yes.
His was 350.
Okay. Jeez.
So
There's a few
20,
poisons in there then.
350,
Whoa.
and they're like, if he
And the body still functions.
and the body still functions, it's incredible.
Incredible.
So they're saying if he can make it, they're like, if he makes it to 100, it would be incredible. They're like, our best hope is that he would make it to 100, but they're like, the chances are very, very slim. His lowest, I think, was 56.
Oh, wow.
So it went from like 350
Jeez.
all the way down to 56, and his kidneys are still growing. So because they're still growing, there's room for it to improve. The only thing is, they said puberty throws a wrench in the works. So
Really?
we'll see how his
See how
body
it's going.
responds.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, we're like, they're like, your kid's dead, go get an abortion. Your kid's
my
alive,
God.
but he's gonna need kidney
So
transplant.
Yeah.
And then now
jeez.
it's your kid's. He's stable. Like, we were super lucky that he was stable enough that we could go visit the family in South Africa in December. So that was the first time they met my wife, and they got to meet him. And
So you could fly, which is great.
yeah. Everything was super. We were worried about the altitude thing.
Yeah.
Like, will
Yeah,
altitude
of course.
affect?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah, so he was fine, and I mean, if like his nappy system is very complicated.
Okay,
like,
yeah, I bet.
We at night we have like multiple nappies and catheters leading into this nappy, out of that nappy, and so that, just to make sure that he can stay the whole night without waking up wet.
Yeah, okay.
But like, if you saw him run down the street, you would never know.
Right.
You would have no clue.
And good on you for sticking with it.
We didn't have a choice.
Right.
Do you know
What
what I
do
mean?
you mean? Oh, well, the doctor gave you a choice.
Yeah, I
Abort
mean,
or-
for us, there was never a...
Right.
For both my wife and I, it was just never a choice.
Yeah.
As like, I don't know, I could live with him not being around, but I could not live with not giving him a chance.
Yeah, that's right. And you gave him that chance.
We gave him the chance, and he just took it with both hands and just did extremely well.
Wow.
He's a crazy little guy, like, just climbs on me, like he's a proper kid.
Yeah. I bet.
You'd never know.
He's
I'm
not
like,
half a kid, right?
No.
He's a real human.
He's 3 years old on a balance bike doing a pump track. You know those
Yeah,
pump
right,
tracks and
yeah,
stuff.
that's
Like,
right.
he's doing that. I'm like,
But you never would have gotten that if you would have shied away from that. Hey, yeah, like when
definitely.
you had a decision to make, you can go this way or that way, kind of.
the thing is, you never know.
No.
And like, and I guess for us, again, we like, luckily my wife and I chose each other because we have very strong foundational beliefs that we both share, so that it makes things a lot easier. Like, I couldn't imagine the struggle it would be if I was like, we need to give him a chance, and she was like, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine that. And then if he died and I put her through all that, and I have to say, my wife's incredible. I think she has like a 99% success rate in decisions.
Okay.
When it came to him,
I hope she's listening to this.
I'll get some
She'll
really.
never be wrong again.
She'll give me some really fun feedback. So, but
But you say it with such compassion and love. I mean, you're beaming when you're talking about her and your child. So
yeah. No,
whatever you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, I just listen to her now.
Avoiding confrontation. She beat it out of you, didn't she?
Yeah. She's boss. She's the boss now. But yeah, I think what I found was in the very beginning. This is for anyone who's a new parent.
Yep.
In the very beginning, you're, as a dad, are absolutely useless. Your only utility is to the mother.
Yeah. Yep,
So it's
true.
like like, even if your kid's totally fine, your best bet is to invest as much as you can in making your wife comfortable and getting her needs met, like emotionally and stuff. That way she can have more capacity for the child or any wildness that happens with them. And that's what we found. So I stopped everything and invested in her. And then as he got older, I started taking more responsibility. Like, I always joke, I'm almost a nurse at this point. I'm like, I was doing the catheter, the feeding tube.
Yeah.
So you know the one that goes up your nose? So we would hold him down, and I would feed the feeding tube down into his stomach. And
Oh, doesn't that break your heart though? You know.
I'd get the shakes afterwards.
Oh.
It was rough. Because you would hold him down, So it's really complicated. It's actually really interesting how they do it. Is they give you a syringe,
Yes.
and you put a syringe on the end of it,
Okay.
and then my wife would hold his head, and I would feed the tube down up his nose and down into his stomach. The reason I had the tube on the end is so that when it gets into his stomach, you can pull stomach acid out, and then you test it on a there's like an acidity tester.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah, so my wife has to hold him down and then I tested it on the acidity tester,
Yeah.
and that's to make sure it's in his stomach and not in his lungs.
Yeah.
Because you're pouring liquid in there.
Yeah. It's not like he can tell you, my chest is feeling
You can't
at
say
this,
yeah.
at this.
So we would do that, and then you pull stomach acid out, test it, and then like tape it to the kid's face so that it doesn't come out. But yeah, because he was wild, he'd just grab it and
Yeah.
just a baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, you learn. I had a special bottle of whiskey for every time I finished one of those. I'm not afraid to say it. I had the shakes. I was like, I was an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
And the biggest adrenaline hits in my entire life were the 15 minutes after I put that thing in. I'd sit there and I'd get the shakes and.
Oh, jeez. Man, having a child just puts everything into perspective. Right?
Yeah. It's interesting because there's people who love their business and then their kid. I'm like, I'd burn my business down tomorrow if it made my kid if it was going to affect my kid negatively. They're like, go get a job. If you get a job, your kid will have this life. If you work for the rest of your life, it'll have this life. We get to build an awesome business. If my kid was going to have a negative outcome because of the business, I would burn it to the ground tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. That's perspective, though.
Yeah, and the problem is you only usually have that in hindsight. That's the scary part.
And two, I feel for it. I mean, I was like that. I was the career-driven one. I was kind of. I labelled myself as the provider, and so you tend to just put more energy into making sure that you're good at your job and doing those things than spending a lot of quality time with the kids. I mean, I had lots of quality time with the kids, but I could definitely have done a little better job than that.
I think it's balance because I think it's native in guys.
When you're young too, I was quite young too.
I think it's also built into guys. Like you want to provide. Like it's like
you do.
Like you want to. Like it's.
And you know what? I actually enjoy that role.
Yeah. I think it's hardwired in us.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like a part of how we're wired. I know some. I definitely believe there's outliers. Like there's some people who don't, or their wives have amazing careers and they're like more than happy to step back so that their wife can live their dream. I'm like, that's totally fine. But I think for the majority of men, there's this thing of like, I want to provide for them. Like I want to make sure they have the things they need and I want to take care of them.
I feel like you're worth something too, because at least gives you purpose, right? To be a kind of a protector, provider. I mean, it's a really good way to go through life and having a purpose kind of thing,
Definitely, it does
Even
give you
with,
purpose.
With homemaker, right? Like if you're house husband or your wife and all you do is stay home, that's not the right word. All you do.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But you have a purpose and it doesn't matter how insignificant other people think your purpose is. The fact that's what gets you up in the morning and you do a thing.
Yeah.
And people around you benefit from your purpose. That's really all you need to do.
I look at my wife. She's crazy smart. So she finished her first year of university in high school in the States. So she's like smart. She was taking university classes in school.
What's she doing with you?
No clue. No clue. She like.
What was in the Kool-Aid?
I don't know. If I could sell it, I would. Yeah, but she reads she'll read 100 books a year.
Right. Wow, really?
Like she can read 100 books a year. If she had the time, she'd smash out 100. I'm like, I'm lucky if I can get through 2. Yeah. So like it's just
different wiring,
different wiring and stuff. Yeah. Totally. No judgment either way, but she
probably wouldn't like to set up podcast studios.
No,
and plugging in things. And,
no,
I don't care what it sounds like. Yeah, I can hear. That's it. Good enough.
Oh, she's very much like. Luckily, she's. One of the things I love about it is she's got taste and she loves excellence as well. Yeah. So like she pushes me to be better, and I do enjoy that. But for her, she wants to stay at home. She's like, I want to stay at home and homeschool our kids. Yeah. I've looked at the outcome for like the average kid in school, and she's like, I think we can do better. And so her whole focus is, I want to be a stay-at-home mom who does homeschooling with the kids, because she's crunched the numbers and she's like, by 16 he would be finished school. We have South Africa open to him and we have America open to him. At 16 he can go live in the US for a year, or in South Africa, come back and then spend 2 years just interning at companies until he finds out what he wants to do.
Yeah, right.
And then so that's like her dream, and that's what her passion is, and that's what she's throwing herself into. And I kind of, it's cool. I get to pull back. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be as forefront, but that means I get to go build a business, get things going so that she can live her dream, because a part of her dream is making, like, whether I wanted the business or not, it's the best way to facilitate her dream.
Yeah, that's right. And nurturing someone else for this world, again,
I think
more is there?
I
really?
think, like I said, we focus on what we can do. So instead of being like my wife, she got rid of all the social media accounts and stuff because she was like, because she's American.
Oh,
she's American, so she's like, there's always something happening in America. There's always some political thing happening, and she's like, it's just distracting me. Like, I don't get any benefit from this.
No,
it just makes me
anxiety,
worry.
right? It makes you angry, and
She's worried about her family, or she's worried about X, and she's just like, the family are fine. You know, these are politicians and big business problems. They don't really affect the people on the ground, which is crazy when you think about it.
Why do we spend so much time getting angry or triggered by stuff we have absolutely no control over? I mean, you found an answer to the problem. Shrink your world. Just worry about your immediate environment. Make sure that's the best it can possibly be. You have no chance of controlling what's happening overseas or in a big political spectrum.
I think it's because it's easier than doing that.
It is. Yeah, well,
that's why it's easier to be upset about this big thing that's happening over there than it is
that everyone else can see as well. So you're part of the people that are upset about this big thing. It's a way of belonging, right?
It's a way of belonging, but it's also a way of building your own world.
Yeah, you can totally get distracted by all the wrongs in the world, and I shouldn't be looking at myself.
Chase all the demons.
Yeah, chase them.
Chasing demons that are more than happy to distract you from doing what you should be doing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, there's lots of demons to choose from.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick your poison.
Just choose one. Just choose one.
Yeah. or just ignore them all and just try and do your best around here.
Yeah, right? or well, what I mean by pick one, I'm like, pick one to solve. And we're like, well, if I
do something about it, what you can do within your sphere of influence.
And I guess that's what we did. We're like, well, there's lots of demons. Let's make sure there's none in our in our sphere of influence first.
Yep. That's it. That's the best thing you can do.
Especially with where Bubba was during the whole process. We didn't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity to go lobby government for exchange or anything like that. And even if I did, I don't think it would. I don't personally feel like it would make much difference. So we were like, let's invest in our kid. Let's invest in our family. Let's invest.
And what a legacy to hand off onto your kid as well, because that's another thing, you don't want them to be trapped like everyone else, but if you can provide an example of, hey, yes, shit happens in the world, but you build your world around you, you make sure it's the best it can be, and you try and leave things better than you found them. That's all you need to do in this world.
Yeah, and hopefully I do a good job, and if I don't, you'll tell me when he's 30.
Just to end off with, though, is there anything you want to say to new parents or people that have struggled, that have a child that's going through some tough times? Because you've been in and out of hospitals, you have to do really hard things to your child where you're causing the child suffering.
You have to be
what would you say to them? How do you cope with that?
I think focus on what you need to do. I think the biggest downfall is oftentimes, I think, especially for guys, I'm guessing, I'm just massively generalizing, but for me, my biggest was I had very little control over what was going on. Very little I could do would actually make any difference on anything.
Yeah.
So he had a horrific amount of meds. I think it was he had 2 60 ml syringes.
Yeah.
And then about it was 8 60 ml syringes. 8 60 ml? Yeah, 8 60 ml syringes, I think and then about 4 other ones. And that was in a 24-hour period that he would have to take. And they were all staggered during the day. So it was stuff to help him grow and things like that. So Like one of them was just pure like fat to like help him put on weight.
Oh.
So, and it's all segmented out during the day for specific times. And like one of the best things I did is sit down with the wife and we're like, okay, let's build a system that can make this easier. So what we did is every day I'd wake up in the morning, she would change him, and I would prep 24 hours worth of syringes.
Wow.
So I went to the hospital and said, what can I prep in advance and what can't I?
Yep.
So please listen to your doctors. Don't just do this.
Yeah.
But I would prep it. So when we went to the hospital, we had a cooler bag. So if we went for like a hospital visit, I'd have a cooler bag worth of syringes for the whole day. So I was like, if our tire popped, he has 24 hours of syringes sorted anywhere, whenever he needs to be. So I would focus on like the little things you can do.
Yes.
Because they're going to be the things that like firstly take the weight off your partner if they're so that they can cope better, but it's also going to give you something to focus on.
Yes.
So like look at the little ones you can do, like can you set up a nappy in the morning? Can you set out clothes in the morning? Can you set out your clothes? Can you set out her clothes? Organize like who's going to shower when and how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And the more you can do that, the more control you feel over your situation, and the smoother you can make things. So just look at what's wrong, like look at the little roadblocks and try and fix those, because if you look at the big picture, there's nothing you can really do.
And it's overwhelming, right?
It's way over. I mean, like when you're like your kid's gonna die, and they're like, it's looking okay, but we don't know. Like next minute, it could just all turn for the worse.
Jeez, yeah.
And it's like your first couple months, so you're like, okay, could you make because you're waking up, so like every 2 hours, one of us would have to wake up and feed him.
Yeah. Jeez.
So every 2 hours, he'd wake up on the boob, off the boob, 60 mils worth of fat following a breastfeed. And, you know, like, how do you do that? How do you... So I got a mic stand, and we wrapped the 60 mil tube around the mic stand. Don't, like, talk to your doctors. Don't do as I do.
Disclaimer, this is not medical advice.
Yeah. So we got the mic stand, and I'd wrap it a rubber band around it with the 60 mil tube hanging down, and then connect it up to his nose, and then I'd put him on me and hold his arms down. Because the most dangerous part of him pulling that out is, well, there's water coming through, because if he pulls it out and it comes up to like his throat, it can all go into his lungs. And
Oh, jeez.
so where if I was trying to hold it with this hand and then hold him like he's not comfortable, so he wakes up and cries, and then the boss wakes up, or whatever the case is. So I had that up there, and then I would pick him up out while he was still asleep and like hold his arms down, but keep him close so that he would go back to sleep, and then put him back in and then disconnect it all. So it's just looking at ways to make your life as simple and easy as possible.
So routine is pretty much what saves you.
Routine, and just like the smallest win you can find, start there.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. What a great thing to tell people. Thank you so much, Wes. What an experience on the couch. We definitely spaced out today, right?
This is so different from the other one as well. Like we almost rehashed No,
not really.
Not really.
No. I mean, there were a couple of little starter points, but really, the way this one worked, and maybe things just happen for a reason. Like, I mean,
definitely.
This conversation went a lot deeper than our other ones.
I think
even though we covered probably more ground, but I feel like I got a really good sense of you, Wes, and thank you so much.
I apologise for that.
No. And I apologise for dicking you around. I've got 3 more. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for being on the couch.
Thanks for having me.
Have you back again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
Out in space.